Y2K was a real thing. People thought technology was gonna end. But before it does, let's enjoy the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Game of Thrones Legends. Game of Thrones Legends is a puzzle role-playing game featuring epic team-based PvP and PvE battles with iconic characters and weapons from the show that you can use. You can put together a team across the entire Game of Thrones universe. Just because they never met in the show doesn't mean they can't team up for your puzzle power fantasy. You can even pick the dragons because they're not just for riding, they're characters. You got Ghost in there too, because dogs are better than humans. Also direwolves. Characters and weapons in the game are upgradable, so the more you play, the more your collection grows, the more powerful your characters and weapons become. Perfect for the classic gamer war cry, just one more turn. And once you've built up your champions and weapons, you can form your own Westeros house, forge alliances, and wage war with other players in special events and PvP tournaments. So go on, head to Westeros, click the link below or scan the QR code. Doing so will net you 50 gold, 3,000 food, and a daily summon token. And thank you once again to Game of Thrones Legends for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. Now, let's party like it's 1999. Or the year 2000, because it's New Year's Eve, hits midnight. Well, that too. So Y2K is directed by Kyle Mooney, written by Kyle Mooney and Evan Winter, and it's New Year's Eve 1999, about to be the year 2000 Y2K. First of all, a little real world history for those of you who might not know what Y2K stood for, what it was, other than the year 2000. See, in the 20th century, banks and government computers, they abbreviated the years, so 1999 would be 99. When it rolled over to the year 2000, it would be 0? Some feared it would take us back to the Stone Age. We would be like the movie The Road, before The Road was out, so The Postman. Quarter of a century later, we have this Y2K movie that has fun with the premise. It's New Year's Eve 1999, these high school students are doing what high school students do, or they're having a party, which is funny because it would be during winter break. I didn't want to see anyone in school during winter break. It stars Jaden Martell and the internet's favorite sweetheart, Rachel Zegler. He's the nerdy kid, she's the girl of his dreams, and then it happens. Y2K. All the electronics and appliances come to life to kill humans, so our group of high school heroes need to save the world. The movie doesn't make sense. It's not really supposed to. There were some things that stood out in which I was like, but that doesn't make sense. How do they create their own force to jump on people? Don't think about it. I thought about it until I was like, what am I doing? The fact is this, and this is just the fact, I wasn't stoned. If there's any part of you who could roll with a psychic rubber tire popping people's heads, right. Same energy as they say. Tamagotchi is taped up to a drill, and I was like, how did the Tamagotchi tape itself to a drill? It doesn't make any sense. Then it drilled into someone's head, and 90s me was in there somewhere being like, yeah. It's very cool. And this movie absolutely feels like a first-time director's feature film, and it is. In fact, more to the point, it almost feels like a high school or college student's film that got a budget. I could totally see someone who just has a camcorder and some friends being like, hey, you want to make a horror movie like tonight in which all the appliances come to life and start killing us? That, but here we are, bigger budget though. Now this movie is a dark comedy, if you couldn't tell by my description. And sometimes it is funny. There were moments that gave me a chuckle, but a solid chuckle, not a chuckle in the way you're like, yeah, sure, but never a belly laugh. But I did have a couple moments where I was like, I don't know, what can I say? That's so stupid, it's making me chuckle. And it's because when the movie does lean into its strengths, it being a movie about appliances that come together despite all logic and reason, and they're here to kill people, I don't know what to say except movies, like people, are at their strongest when they lean into what they are. That said, the movie didn't always land for me. There were a couple calls in which I was like, oh, well, that was a choice. And I don't know how. Example, without giving away too much, but there are a couple of characters early on, you're like, these are the strong, but they're gone now. Okay, I guess we're gonna go on this quest with the B Squad, essentially. They're heavy hitters, we're just not on the adventure. One was the best comedic actor in the movie, and the other, if for nothing else, his character would make the movie far more interesting if he did team up with our misfits to save the world. It's almost like the movie was like, but why would we do that? Here, this is your crew, this is what you get. Like there's a celebrity cameo in the movie in which the celebrity plays himself, kind of like Bill Murray in Zombieland. Only thing is in Zombieland, you have Bill Murray in a dark comedy. Yeah, dude in this movie is not really known for his comedic prowess, which could be fine in sparing amounts, but they give him so much to do, it kind of came across as an SNL episode that had an awkward host. Now, Steven Seagal, not to that degree, no. History still remembers that one. But still, you do reach the point where you're like, okay, let's go. In fact, a lot of this movie came across as SNL. Never the strongest parts of SNL. I guess that's a loaded statement, but that SNL episode, you watch, you turn off, and you go, that was an episode. You're not pissed about it. You had some chuckles. It was ridiculous. It was goofy. Had some off moments. But if for nothing else, it wasn't longer than 90 minutes. Internet tells me it's between 91 and 93 minutes, depending on where I'm looking and who's telling it to me. But I believe that does include end credits. Where the movie's strongest is where a lot of things in today's entertainment are strongest. In the nostalgia. Yeah, this movie's all about 90s love, from the aesthetic, the entertainment, in the entertainment, the terminology used, the soundtrack, which I guess we'll call a mixtape today. It's good stuff. The leads, or lead rather, I like on an individual level. You know, there's this whole quest of finding himself in this situation. I never bought him and Rachel Zegler though. It's not like I was rooting for them. I didn't buy it. By contrast, and for comparison's sake, the rapper kid and the girl with the camcorder have far more tender moments in this movie and moments of heart than our leads ever do. In the end, yeah, Y2K, it was odd, it was crazy, it was quirky, it was batshit. This is the kind of movie that would be making its rounds among film fans, stoners, and college dorms if it had come out closer to when the movie actually takes place. It just doesn't always stick the landing for what it's going for. For a movie about appliances that come to life and kill people, the most memorable section of this film is the first half hour before that stuff even happens. That is to say, this movie'd probably be a better time if you're inebriated. Yeah, now it's a party. And another thank you to Game of Thrones Legends for sponsoring this video. Scan the QR code or click the link below to get yourself 50 gold, 3,000 food, and a daily summon token. All right, so Y2K, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite apocalyptic, world's gonna end, or did end comedy? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.